Salam to everyone. I offer my humble salutations at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan and pray to him to preside over this satsang and inspire all of us with positive thoughts and thoughts that lead us to great action, which not only we improve us, but we help mankind and please our beloved Bhagwan. Respected Dr. Mohan, my brother, Professor Mukundan, the Zonal President for the Southern States of India, Dr. Sanjay Agarwal, who is also the Zone President of North of India, as I see him, Dr. Ramana Rao, my colleague, helping me with the medical activities in India, and all my brothers and sisters who are on this very joyous satsang that we are having today. It's indeed my fortune to be invited here to speak amongst all you great physicians and doctors, and it's very strange that a lawyer should be in the midst of such beautiful people. But they say that even a crow in the midst of beautiful peacocks can start looking like a peacock, as they say, because that is the impact of satsang, as they say. But I think today is the time when we meet here today. The first preparation is that to shed all our titles and to understand why a phenomenon like Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba would want us on this platform of satsang, and what is it that we should be able to ponder and understand. Dear brothers and sisters, being one of the leading professions that are intrinsically meant to support mankind, alleviate them into a consciousness which is very, very high, relieve them of the pains and pressures of life and justice, and to ensure that there is an opportunity to know, learn, and experience the divinity within. We must begin with what Bhagwan expects and what was the reason for his avatar. We all know that Bhagwan has come with a great vision to dismantle all the beliefs that mankind had all these years. The external vision that man developed over centuries, despite knowledge, correcting that and helping him to turn that vision inwards was one of the biggest things, the mission statements of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Therefore, as human beings, we must understand that the greatest message of Bhagwan, which is fundamental to all of us, is the fact that we have to start perceiving that human beings are not ordinary beings, but they are reflections of divinity, where the power of divinity lies within the man and not outside. Brothers and sisters, the moment you take this perception, you take this perspective, a lot of things change. 2, 3 things which we can enumerate easily. That first, my vision of myself not being an ordinary person, but being a reflection of divinity is the first step. Do I see myself different now? Am I bold enough to accept the fact what Bhagwan has said, that I am as good as he? Am I bold enough to accept and practice the path and it says that I am God, but I've come to tell you that you also are God? Am I willing to accept the stature which God came to give me of a divine being? Am I willing to accept the fact that Bhagwan has asked me to turn my mind inwards? Bhagwan has always said that the mind is like the tree and you turn it outside, and you will find that the world appears before you. And the moment you turn your mind within, the cosmic divinity manifests from within you. These are fundamental expectations of Bhagavan. What is the path that Bhagavan showed us? That in the span between birth and death, you and I have to realize that my perception of myself is that I have to spend this time between birth and death in my conscious effort to realize that I am a reflection of Bhagavan Shri Sathya Sai Baba, if you want to name it, or am a reflection of the divinity, the divine power that my birth is not ordinary, but it's a very unique opportunity. That the goal of my life, as Bhagavan says, is not eating, drinking, sleeping, and dying or procreating. The goal of life is very, very high. That it is to understand the divinity within myself. Now, these are fundamental premises on which life must take a U-turn for us to be able to appreciate what God expects out of us. Because if these fundamentals of our own appreciation, of our own valuation, and of our own goal path, which is in an inward path, if these are not understood in the right perspective, then the exercise that we may enter upon or embark upon may bring temporary joys, temporary pleasures, but it won't be the ultimate path that we lead. And therefore, one of the statements which I love what Bhagavan has said, and I want to say that because I have the fortune of leading a very divine organization called the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organization. But the first perception is that maybe we are all come together to help somebody else. But Bhagavan corrected us here when he clearly said that I am not wanting you to correct anybody else. I want you to correct yourself. And the path is of self-transformation. I remember as a young man when I first led the first delegation of doctors to Bhagavan, way back in the 80s. All of us were very, very enthusiastic to tell Swami all the work that had been done by the medical profession. Many camps, so many patients, so many medicines, so much. So we thought that we had a very successful bout with medical activity. And then Bhagavan, I remember, said that it is not the number of patients or the number of surgeries that you did that determines success. There are two other parameters of success which I am interested. I am interested in the fact that when a day comes at the Sathya mission directed towards that. And the second most beautiful thing he said that I'm happy that you've done this good work, but I'm more interested in knowing that all the good work that you've done, what is it that it has done to you as a human? So if Nimish Pandya has been a part of some activity, Bhagavan is never enamored by the quantum or the quality of the work that I did for somebody. Bhagavan is totally focused on what Nimish Pandya has transformed by virtue of this work. How much sensitivity, how much unconditional love, how much patience, self-sacrifice, and how much of unconditional love that he is able to express to all the people in his life on a day-to-day basis, on every second of his life. This transformation is important. I've pondered over this and I want to share this thought for all of us to ponder over the night, that in the world of today, when we see the medical profession, the way it's going, on the one hand, this tremendous good work is happening, tremendous new remedies are being created, tremendous systems are being created. But on the other hand, if you look at 60 to 70% of the world, medical help has not even reached them till today. of the kind that we need to help them. Then there is the other 40% where medical help has reached, but it's become a nightmare because they cannot afford it. You see the dichotomy? Amelioration on one side in the world of science, in the world of medical knowledge, medical research, but the applicability of it to the mankind, question mark for all of us to understand. Now, every world and every government and every thinking man is trying to get solutions. How to create this environment where this medical knowledge, achievements can help the common man. But it's not happening. You and I know that. And it's not happening for such a long time. Whether it is the cost of medicine, availability, approachability, are all question marks. As juxtaposed to the times of the yesteryears when the physician was the god in the family, where the physician knew everyone in the family and what his history was, and maybe just one look at the family's child or mother or sister or father, he knew that this could be the problem because he knew man and that family holistically as human beings. There was a bond of love. There was a bond of unconditional situation. I remember in old Tamil movies and in old Hindi movies and all that, the family doctor interacting with the old man in the house was a beautiful scene of camaraderie. There was jokes, there was laughter, and they would say, okay, don't worry, I'm with you, you continue, but take care. That kind of the family love, which we saw in film, but it was also the reality of day-to-day life, when the physician was there. Because at that point of time, we were each used to seeing each other as a holistic human being. Nimish Pandya was one holistic being. Today, probably Nimish Pandya is becoming parts. His heart is in somebody else's control. His bones are in somebody else's control. And as Swami used to joke, when it comes to the dental structure, there's an expert for the molar on top and there's another expert for the molar at the lower tooth. And then there is somebody who would only drill and there is somebody who would only do. Now, what has happened? We have destroyed and distinguished the human being into pieces. When Swami used to always tell us, brothers and sisters, that the human body is one whole. The heart, the lungs, everything functions in sync and harmony with each other. And the greatest example that Swami used to give was that if a thorn pricks the toe, the eyes are crying. That was the bonding. There was no need for the eyes to cry when the foot is being hurt by the thorn. Swami used to say it so lovingly, and I'm sure all of us brought tears that, no, this is the reality. But what is happening in the world today? We are now becoming helpless witnesses to a system which is engulfing ourselves. And though I'm not a doctor, but I know one thing, when people talk about cancer, they say the cancer cell is a cell that starts destroying its own other cells in the whole body. Okay, it goes haywire. So that's what's really happening today in the world to mankind. We're all trying to destroy our own cells in a system in which we just cannot come up. Now, is there a solution? Yes. Everyone is desperately trying for a solution. But the simple solution that Swami has given us, we are not able to see. Can a body of lawyers change the whole judicial system? I doubt it. I'm sure, with due respect, Dr. Mohan also, if the entire medical fraternity wants to come together and change the system, not possible, because diverse views, diverse objectives like lawyers. We're finding that there is an intention to change, but there is no ability or capacity or the path forward. And that's where Swami came, brothers and sisters, to tell us that this is not a change that somebody does for somebody else. Today, when nearly 200 doctors are on the channel, on this whole talk today, brothers and sisters, is it that this satsang is going to resolve a resolution which will be the miracle pathway on the panacea to change the whole world? No, I don't think so. But yes, if this question is put to Swami today, who's presiding over this meeting, he would say, Bangaru, you don't worry about the world. Dr. Garu, you change yourself. I am only interested in that. You become a good doctor. And if you become a good doctor, in sync with what my blessings are, and I assure you the world will change. Because it's the individual change that can bring the change. Today, I'm very happy to share with you that in the midst of all the turmoil in the medical field that we may see, it is my experience, and I'm sure it's the experience of all my colleagues who are a part of the SAI Seva organization, that the same doctors who are being commented upon, criticized, said, there is an equal bunch of people like you and the brothers who are on the screen who are showing exemplary sacrifice. They're doing exactly what Swami wants us to do, to sacrifice our time, our energy, share that love to people who are there. The Sathya Sai camp where the doctor is treating the patient is a 70 film of unconditional love when that one person who comes. We have instances in our camps where the medical van goes and an old lady from the village who comes, she will come only to this van and say that, no, I only want that medicine from your hand, even if somebody else is giving. She'll wait in the queue, but she'll take it from the hand of that doctor who has given her so much love. That love has cured her. They say, "Mujhe wahi dawai chahiye, tumhare haath se dawa chahiye." They say, "I want my medicine from your hand." See, this is evidence, brothers and sisters, of what you and I, who have been part of the divine love mission of Bhagavan, have shown this extraordinary dimension of what a human being, a doctor who is a good human being, who is aligned with the divine nature of man, who has the ability to see God in somebody else, can achieve in life. This is the story not only of the SSSSO organization. I would not claim monopoly on this, but there are many, many doctors in the world today who are doing this. Now the question is, are we able to, Professor Mukundan mentioned that this is a satsang, this is an outreach program. Why would we have it, brothers and sisters? We want to bring like-minded people on the path of self-transformation and then jump into society with this element of self-sacrifice and grant of unconditional love to people. And if all these people, many, if this, जैसे हिंदी में कैसे हम चलते गए और कारवां बनता गया, we are all together, and we more we join together on the path of personal sadhana, the path of personal transformation. And through personal transformation, if we jump into medical service and service to mankind, 2 or 3 things happen, brothers. One, as Swami said, we would have fulfilled our human mission as a human being before death. Secondly, we would have enjoyed the bliss of recognizing divinity in society. And thirdly, knowingly or unknowingly, we would have been the change agents in society, which is required. So does it begin with the government? No. Does it begin with an A organization or B organization? No. Does it begin with the morchas or things that we can carry out on the streets? No. It only comes with one lamp burning and one lamp lighting millions of lamps. And that is the process of change that we're looking for, brothers and sisters. The transformation will come only with us. It cannot come by lectures, by resolutions, by methods, by documents that you create, by law. It can never come by law. If law could stop rape, brothers and sisters, it would have stopped long ago. If only a person can stop rape, it would have stopped long ago. It doesn't. It stops only when human being transforms. When human being understands the humanity and the divinity, or the fact that we are all one. How can we be different is a question. As I was always saying, that the entire human being, whether you're a Hindu, Christian, Muslim or anything, every part of your body is standard. If Dr. Mohan is treating A, whether he's a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian, his heart will be the same as what the heart of everybody else is. His stomach is going to be the same. If a Hindu child is born or a Muslim child, the process of giving birth is the same. The process of procreation is the same. And the beauty part is at the end of life, when you die, whether you burn or you get buried, you still become dust. This is the fact that we need to understand in our approach to mankind and to human beings. is a very, very important thing. And here, I think it's not a matter of casting responsibility more than others. But here, Baba has always said and mentioned that the doctor can do wonders. And therefore, as they say, a doctor is next to God, they say. They never said the lawyer is next to God, but they always said that the doctor is next to God. And that's the obvious reason for that. That ability to go beyond the physical pain, the ability to be able to have a healthy body or to conquer pain so that the mind can dwell on divinity, that the mind can have the opportunity of good thoughts, that the mind can have the opportunity of experiencing the path within. This facilitation of man to become divine is primarily in the hands of doctors and teachers, as they say. I mean, these two communities is what Swami always held upon, that the teacher creates a character and the doctor helps to ease the physical pain so that both these approaches can give the human being an opportunity to understand God and go beyond the five senses during the entire span of life between birth and death. And Swami used to always remind us that doctors, yes, we have to make money, we have to run our lives, it's not a question. But how much? When? What? Is it the need or is it the greed? Is a question that applies to all professions. It is not only the medical profession. It applies to engineers, doctors, teachers, everyone. The need and the greed phenomenon is a matter of self-amelioration, is a matter of self-decision. And I must congratulate all my colleagues who have been a part of the SAI Seva organization. Many of them have shown exemplary behavior where they've sacrificed their own money, their own time, and have made the decision that I want to go for 4 days, I want to go for 5 days, I want to go to this state and do my seva and service. And some of them, I found them to be so beautifully concentrated on this story. I remember one of my visits to Haryana, and there was a medical camp in the open, Dr. Mohan. And, with the fanfare of the All India President, they take oblivious of my presence. So, I mean, for him, it was those patients and that God, and it was a great humbling experience for me. I immediately decided not to disturb that man, and I told my colleagues, I said, let's just get out of this place fast. Let's not disturb him. This is not the way we should be there. I mean, we've seen those examples. And recently, even when we went to Ladakh, those people there are remembering these doctors. This never happened in their life. Which Professor Mukundan has so much of effort. I think this is a great way to go forward for a satsang of doctors, because if this community increases in its flavor of love and the grandeur and the ability to transform themselves, then, brothers and sisters, the day is not far when India can become a very unique leader. You see, apart from the laws, apart from the governments, apart from anything else, a united, grand effort of doctors coming together with a great mission of self-transformation and quietly doing this work can bring a renaissance which is unheard of in the world. And that is why all my doctors should come together, give love, smile, make your money, no problem. But it's not 1,000 rupees, it's 500 also, it's 200 also. How much do I need? And I remember as a lawyer, I was warned by Bhagwan first. He says, money is like a shoe. If you have less money, there is like a shoe which is small in size. If you have more money, you have a shoe which you can't walk and you can trip. But the right size shoe will make walking very happy. And that decision is definitely a personal decision. And therefore, personal sadhana, brothers and sisters, is important. That comparative spirit, he's got it and I don't have it. He has got 2 clinics and I have only 1. Or maybe 1 clinic and I don't have a clinic. Irrelevant. In the world of Swami, this is irrelevant. Therefore, as a personal sadhana dimension, we want to, not only for doctors, for all mankind, that the ability of self-confidence, that God is existing, God is present, He is my doer, He is the person, and I had this great opportunity to serve mankind and run my profession. That's the whole situation. This decision, brothers and sisters, is stemming out of personal sadhana. Therefore, this satsang will be successful if we do not only focus only on the kind of seva that we do, but also focus on personal sadhana. Because it is, Swami used to say, I don't need great people. I need good men. I need good people. I don't need great people. Swami used to always say, I'm not interested in your capability or your capacity. I'm interested in your availability for my divine vision. This is the call we need to take, brothers and sisters. And I do not want to take too much time because we have a doyen of a brother in Dr. Mohan. We all want to hear him. And I thank Professor Mukundan for this opportunity. And I thank him for this situation. And I do pray to Bhagavan that we all make a very, very strong effort to understand what he wants out of us and put it into practice and increase this virtuous circle of unconditional love in the medical fraternity. And more of us join in the service of mankind, which is service to God. Improve yourself, love and see God in the human being. This joy is bliss, and this only you and I have been blessed because we have the opportunity to be in the divine umbrella. Jai Sai Ram, and thank you very much.